Welcome to month one of Elevate Her. This is the brand strategy inside of the program. This is where we stop posting just to post and start building a brand that converts. Beyond Canva templates and into strategy behind how your brand speaks, connects, and positions itself online. Because a pretty page isn't enough if no one understands what it is you do, why you're the best choice for them, and no one resonates with the brand that you are putting out on socials. In this module, we will be covering brand archetypes and how to actually use them, speaking to client symptoms instead of just listing features, optimizing Instagram for conversions, repurposing smart with tools, systems, and strategies, and visibility strategies with Pinterest. All of this will build off of the bonus vault that you already worked with in your content to clients program, will help you with showing up fully integrated and in one cohesive brand online.
First up is your brand archetype. This is more than just a pretty photo or a vibe. This is your brand's personality, and it helps you stay consistent and set yourself apart in the sea of sameness from other brands. This is also going to help you figure out what your personality is as a brand itself. It's more than just your overall vibe. One, you want to be recognizable. All these beauty influencers or beauty brands, your archetype really does influence you and your brand on how you design and market yourself.
The copy that you use, how you write your captions, how you show up on social media, and the emotions that you invoke when someone is checking out your brand. So ruler and sage. These brand archetypes definitely elicit more of a feeling of studiousness, education, luxury, a lot of specific brands that you will learn to know and recognize their archetypes based on these things. YSL, Giorgio Armani, BMW, Chanel, all of these brands are the ruler archetype. They're usually known for more of like dark, moody vibe. They're also known for more luxury feelings. So a lot of the top brands that you see, even Nike, for example, they use brand archetypes and use them strategically when speaking to client symptoms. They're not just listing the features. To optimize your Instagram for your conversions, you're never going to list the features. You're going to be speaking to that client specifically. You're always going to have this person in mind, your brand archetype in mind. Repurposing your content with smart tools after we've set up your brand archetype. You're going to take a quiz, brand archetypes, and how to use them strategically. A lot of brands that you know and love already are using brand archetypes and you have no idea. We took the archetype test and our brand landed for 2 archetypes. And that is totally possible. When you get your scoring chart and everything like that, you'll see where you land. And if there's one that like close second, you can lean into both of them. We don't recommend doing more than 3. I would keep it at 2 or less, to be honest, just so that it can really leave that home with your presentation on social media. So we scored for the ruler archetype and the sage archetype. The sage archetype does more researching. They're more studious, even more things in depth when it comes to just something as simple as last week's husbands, right? So
in the sense of we're bringing one decisiveness and we're bringing the research that we've done and of a stance of educational. Like you're not going to be seen as someone who doesn't know what they're doing.
like brands like VC, they like to really speak to the facts and education. They dive deep into different things that they're doing, more about knowledge, assured, guidance, things like that. So that's just us explaining what ours are. We're going to go way more in depth and you're going to learn a lot more about them and you're going to even learn what you could be. This is all going to help you with aligning to speak to your clients to symptoms and not just leaning into the features that you provide. So it's not just about like, oh, we do lash extensions, we make you feel pretty, for example. Ours is, this was what blepharitis was, for example. And I went into that and like explained it and dove deep into education in that way. And that's something that my clients cared to know. Optimizing your Instagram for conversions, because these are going to be the clients that react to the brand archetype. It's like more of like you're calling them in, you're leading them to you, and then you're guiding them along that journey. Set up your Pinterest for your business page using the content to clients program. Now we're going to show you how you can really leverage that Pinterest to fuel your brand archetype and really build out like a respected, notable brand. This is how we've been able to hit over 150,000 viewers and impressions on Pinterest on average every month.
There's a downloadable guide that we also created that you could check in the Slack channel, and we'll also post a link in the description. For the workbook prompt that you're going to be using, take a second to look at it and define your own brand and your own characteristics and what's your motivator on how you're going to visibly show up on your social media, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Pinterest. Just take a minute to kind of find yourself what you're doing this for, how you want to portray yourself, and what is your why.
Now that you've established your brand archetype and you've gone on, I'm sure, your deep dive to really understand the brand archetype, we're going to focus on the conversions framework. So this is your content system for turning browsers into buyers. Through here, you're going to use all of the different letters of the word conversion to help you remember exactly what you need to hit on to land and convert a client throughout your journey with them. So C stands for connect. You want to build emotional rapport with your ideal client and speak to their symptoms, values, and lifestyle. You can do any of the conversions framework throughout your social media. You just want to make sure that you're hitting on every single letter of conversions so that you can convert, if that makes sense. So on your highlights, you want to be hitting on all of the letters. On your post, it doesn't have to be every single letter of conversions, but you need to hit on at least one of them in one post. So for O, you're going to be handling objections. We do this by creating a piece of content that handles any fears that they may have, any doubts, a hesitation, anything like that. But you're going to be doing that before they even ask you. So it's like little things that stop someone from following through with the purchase. You're going to be speaking to that ahead of time. N is for narrating desires. You're going to paint a picture of what it is that they want, not just what it is that you offer, as we said before. V stands for villains. So you're going to call out all of the industry BS. You're going to call out any limiting beliefs that they may have that you need to push them through, any toxic trends that you think are holding them back. So for example, a villain in the beauty industry specifically would be someone doing microdermabrasion on themselves. A lot of estheticians absolutely abhor that. They cannot stand it. They speak to how much damage there is if you do that, things like that. That would be a villain. E is going to emotions. So you're going to use your storytelling. This is when you're going to take that chance to really get vulnerable. But that can be hard. So a lot of times we'll recommend doing B-roll. You don't have to really do like to camera vulnerability, but telling your story on why you have this business, what you did to get here and things like that really starts to build rapport in a relationship through a screen, because we don't get to see that a lot. More of like a high stakes moment to create that connection. R is for results. So you're going to show the transformation of what a client will experience. So that could be before and afters, or the stats of someone before they worked with you and then after they worked with you, screenshots of anything that your clients are saying, anything that they're sending you, stuff like that, or like views. This is great to handle on your stories and on your highlights tab. Love to see them on social media captions as well, and on your sales pages, things like that. Like alts are always great for that. S is symptoms. So show them that you see them by describing their daily struggles or frustrations. So really sit and think about what your client is doing. Like she wakes up in the morning, or he, when they wake up in the morning, what is their first thought? What's going through their mind? How are they feeling? So for us, for example, it's content to client. One of my girls has a phone filled with messages from an employer that's stressing her out and she doesn't know how to handle it, et cetera, et cetera. And that's the first thing she does is check that. And then she immediately has anxiety and then she doesn't even feel excited for the day, stuff like that would be a true symptom. It's more than just, oh, I want a different job, or I want to work with a different brand, or I hate my boss. You need to go a level deeper to like really walking through that client's day to day and why it is that your service would fix that symptom specifically. I is for insights. So educate them and fill in the gaps. So teach them something that they didn't know. We handle I a lot through a lot of our blog posts, right? So something that our clients don't know is about why a lash lift and tint is great. Even if you don't have super long lashes, you can switch the rod size to custom fit lash length and It isn't a one size fits all type of thing. It's a very customized procedure. They don't even know what a lash rod is versus like lash sealed. Explaining something like to them would be giving them insight, showing them like, these are the tools that I use to accomplish this, is me filling in the knowledge gaps that you might have. Offer awareness. So this is when you're going to seamlessly transition into your offers and position it as the clear solution. Your client doesn't really care about getting the lash lift intent per se, but she does care that she has raccoon eyes every time she walks outside in the summer in Florida in the heat. Because that's what is frustrating her. And that is the offer of awareness. Hey, if you have raccoon eyes and you're miserable, guess what? You could get this and you won't have that problem anymore. N is for nurturing the buyer types. So you're going to tailor your messaging to all 4 buyer types. Speak to the driver buyer, the analytical buyer, the emotional buyer, and the amiable decision-making styles. So all 4 of these buyer types are activated by separate things, but each of those things that they are activated from is going to be hit as long as you're hitting the conversion framework.